In this video, we're going to cover the electronics. As you enter the RV, to the left side of the steps, you see a small knob that allows you to turn the battery on. There are two batteries underneath the steps. That'll allow you to keep the lights on and use the refrigerator and things like that. There are also some switches here. The awning switch that will extend the awning on the outside. And then there are lights, switches for lights as well. Once you enter the RV, to the right side, there is the air conditioning unit that keeps the RV cool. On the left side of the RV, there is a control panel here that kind of allows you to operate most of the electronics here. So I'm going to walk you through a few things here. The first thing on this side is the generator. There's a start and stop button. To start the generator, we have to press and hold in the stop position first and hold that for a few seconds. And then you see a light and then you see the screen. Once you do that, and then you press the start button. And you hold it for a few seconds and that turns the generator on. Once the generator is on, you can pretty much use everything in the RV. You can operate the slide outs. You can use the air conditioning unit. Even microwave can only be used when the generator is on. To the right side, there are small buttons here which will allow you to see the several indicators. The first one is the LPG. It tells there's 2/3 of LPG currently in. And battery power, it's fully charged. Fresh water, there's about 1/3 of the tank. There's water about one third of the tank. Black water, that's where your sewer goes. So that is about 2/3 full. And then the gray water, your sink water and stuff goes in here. It's empty. Now, as you go down, there is a slide out section, and the first one is the slide out for the front side and the kitchen area. So right now, the slide outs are already extended. But I'm going to show you how to close since they are already extended. So as I use this button to press the retract side, and then it just starts retracting, and you always have to keep your slide outs retracted when you're driving. Once the slide outs are extended, it really improves a lot of space in the RV. Now let's go back here. To extend, you just have to do the same thing, press and hold the extend side of the button. And that extends the slide out. Pretty straightforward. I would always make sure there's enough room outside to extend the slide outs and there's nothing in their way so they don't damage the slide outs. On this side, there's a second slide out that extends this part of the RV. Same thing, right now they're extended already, so I'm just going to retract by pressing that button. So now it retracts, so I'm just holding the retract button. And to extend, do the same thing by pressing the extend side. So it gives you enough space. Again, you would only extend the slide outs when you're parked and there is enough space to extend the slide outs. And there are other switches here. First one is the water pump. Right now the water pump is on. So if you want to use the sink water or anything, you always have to keep the pump on. We always keep it on. The second one is the LPG gas. If you want to use the LPG gas, the LPG gas is used for cooking. Even when you are using heater inside, you need to always keep it on. Right now it is in on position, but you can turn it off. There is a heater as well that you can use to turn off or turn on. That's a water heater. Now this is the thermostat. Pretty straightforward, nothing fancy. You have the system that you can set to cool or heat. Right now it is set to off, but you can turn it on, and then that air conditioning turns on. And when you put it on to heat, and there are other vents that will pump the hot air. You can set the temperature here, and you can set the fan speeds using this section. So that kind of covers this control panel area. As you walk inside the RV, there is a section here that we added this additional AC unit for really hot days. This one does not run on generator. This one does not run on the standard 30 amp power connection. We added a second power source to it. So when you're at an RV, you need to find the second power source there. There is a cable that we're going to show you later on that you can use to connect this AC unit. But on most days you don't really need to use the second RV, but sometimes you may have to use this one, and if you have to use that, you have to connect it to a second power source. So that covers the electronics. Of course, there are TVs, which are pretty straightforward, so we're not gonna get into any details, but there are 5 TVs overall, 1 in the bedroom, 2 small TVs by the bunk beds, and then one outside. There's one TV outside. We'll show you when we walk you through the outside of the RV, and there's one more TV on the cab over bed. So that covers all of our electronics inside. Thank you.